Hello, my name's Polly. This is my story from the Don't Believe Your Eyes series, or about how I almost ruined my family because of some dubious information. My mom always has had poor health, and recently she started to surrender. She already looked like she was in her 50s, though she always took care of her looks and health. Sometimes she had a heart attack, and all that jazz typical of her age. Most often, she complained about her joints. The pain in her arms and legs stopped her from walking and doing usual things. She could hardly even cook. My dad and I always tried to help her. I took over the house. Dad made money for the pills and living. Mom really didn't like this, but what could we do? All sorts of expensive procedures only eased the symptoms for a while, and then everything came back. So I actually had no opportunity to get out. And Dad, on the contrary, rarely came home. I would say my parents are an example of a perfect family. They love each other very much, even after years of marriage. Dad always holds her hand and knows which flowers to give her, which cakes are her favorite ones, and what bestseller from a fashionable writer she would like. He's never wrong. And Mom calls him my happiness, and also does all kinds of things when she can get out of bed. For me, they've always been an example of what marriage should be like. I'm only 17, but now I'm looking for a man who will love me as much as Dad loves Mom. Or loved. In spring, Mom was put in the hospital for a usual examination. She had to spend a month there, and all we could do was visit her sometimes, and not to ruin the house until she got back. Anyway, nothing special. She was just bored with staying inside. But she had a tablet with her favorite TV series and a selection of books from Dad. It really helped. Once, I came home late from school. I also wanted to drop in to see Mom. So I called Dad to say I wouldn't be home for the night. Anyway, I called him so he wouldn't worry. But they didn't let me in to see Mom. She was having a procedure. And then it wasn't visiting hours. So I decided not to go see my friend and to go home. I had time for the last bus anyway. So I came home, and there I saw shocking content for adults, moans and sighs all over the house. I stood in the hall, freaked out. I got as far away as I could. The most obvious thing was spinning in my head. Dad brought his lover home. I didn't think he had the TV on or anything like that. Apart from the sounds, there was a fashionable red women's coat on the hanger. And high-heeled shoes were in a shoebox. Of course, it could be Mom's coat, but she would never wear such a loud color, and the shoes would be too much for her joints. I spent that night at my friend's house, as I wanted to, and all the way there, I thought about what I should do and how to live on. To tell Mom and kill her, or keep silent and become a traitor in my eyes. Even telenovelas didn't have such a dilemma. And the thing was, I had no one to ask for advice. I didn't want to wash the dirty linen at home. Then, for a long time, I stayed late at school. And at the same time, I looked closely at my dad. I searched for signs of Dad's lover's presence. And the thing was, I found them. A bottle of oil under the sink in the bathroom, used as intended. Then a towel or even a robe that looked like a kimono. Though, strangely enough, it was more of a medical one than an attractive one, but you never know what Dad liked. And once, I came back home as usual. I called Dad in advance. I came in, and I heard moans again. This is where my patience ended. I flew on the wings of anger into my parents' bedroom and I freaked out. Because in the area where the chairs stood, there was a massage table. And my dad was laying on this table. There was a woman of unreal size, like 3 dads, in the very robe, which turned out not to be a kimono or a robe at all, but a blouse that cracked on a mighty D-sized chest. I started to stutter after what I saw, and Dad waved at me so joyfully. And how he moaned, because this woman pressed on his spine while he was moaning. Anyway, I went into the kitchen and poured some tea to think about what I saw. Dad finished the massage, shut the door, and came over to brag to me about what he advised was an amazing masseuse at work. He started having some problems with his back, and a massage saved him. And Mom could try too. They say even paralyzed people recover faster with it. At that moment, I thought it was good that I didn't tell Mom anything. She didn't know anything about this, which means no one was hurt. Of course, Mom has had a massage too, and it even helped. I understood a very important thing. Never blame someone until you have 100% proof. I wish it to you too, because even the most obvious things may have much more than what you're aware of. Write in the comments who got caught with self-deception. Share the video with your paranoid friends, and check everything you hear because there's nothing worse than spreading gossip.